Okay, so this is the week 3 check-in. Um, so I got the notebook right here. Let's check in. So it starts with how many days a week did you do the morning pages? How was the experience to you? If you skipped a day, why did you skip it? So, I don't know. Thursday, Friday. Yeah, so I don't know. It was all pretty good in terms of these morning pages. Um they were pretty reflective and talking about emotions, getting more and more comfortable with that. Um it was just kind of a difficult week in a number of ways. Just like sort of like fighting with Joe, um, you know, just still not feeling stability. Um, you know, in any case, but yeah, so yeah, thinking about that, I wrote a little bit about routine and how it's difficult for me to settle into that, and just thinking about how I can um, use the opportunity that I'm presented with in the morning pages to help bring me some routine. So, bringing that into this week is definitely a priority for me. Yeah, and then I did skip yesterday. It was just kind of a hard day because I had to take Donut to the vet, and then I went and I just had a kind of a big day just with Duncan. Um, and so I didn't really give myself the opportunity to write them yesterday. But also, I think I had a lot of anxiety about her vet visit. But it seems like she's okay. She just needs some care. Um, and then yeah, so that's sort of my take on the morning pages. It was a good experience, and it's I'm growing in my ability to be honest in it, and you know grow in the self-care aspect of it, because there's definitely some days last week where I found myself talking about some pretty negative stuff, and so reminding myself to come back to affirming myself and using it as a space to care about my artist self. And then, okay, so a continual struggle for me has been this next one. Did I do my artist date? And so, no, I didn't this week. And um, I feel like it's really hard for me to carve out the time, and it's really hard for me to set aside the finances, especially when I'm not feeling a ton of stability in that way to do it. But I want that for myself. I really do. And something that's been good though this week is I partially it was out of anxiety of being diagnosed as whatever it's called, hypertension. But also just I've gone out and exercised more this week, and that served as a really good um, you know time for me to connect with my physical body and myself. Um, but naming it as the artist date and going and doing it um, is tough. And one thing that I saw when I was watching Dochi's take on week 3 this morning is, she says, "Oh, I woke up at 5 a.m. to go and do this, um, go buy myself some paints." And then she says, "No, actually, I totally stole them." But yeah, just thinking about that and how I can give myself that time. And so sometimes carving out that time means sacrificing something, like sacrificing that extra little bit of sleep. Like this morning, um, you know, not to poo-poo myself, but um, I wanted to get up, and I had set my timer for 8 o'clock, but I didn't end up getting up until after 9, and that's, that's okay, but just recognizing that as a, a piece of this too, that I can give myself more time by carving that time out. Um, so yes, artist dates important. Um, Need to do them, and I just need to name the things that I'm doing as um, things that I'm doing for myself, rather than not engaging with that. Um, and not, I guess, just not naming them as self care. Um, but I can name them as self care, and I think then the care will go even further if I start to see it as what it is. Um, okay, experiencing synchronicity. Ah, man, I had such a good one. There was a time when I really felt like something fell right into my lap, and it really felt wonderful. Um, and yeah, I'm not sure what it was, though. Um, I don't know. I definitely felt something akin to that when yesterday we went to the Starry Plow for the open mic, and that was really cool. And it was like the best that I'd seen it, or one of the best days. And just opening myself up to um, sincerity, rather than having my default, like, sort of cynical response to it, I think was really it really opened me up to being able to enjoy something that I have struggled to enjoy at times in the past. And because, like, sometimes, like, these comedians, like, suck balls, and these musicians aren't very good either, but just, like, being, you know proud of the work that they're doing, and empathetic towards the artistry, and the bravery it takes to get up there, I think was really beneficial to me in my practice, and I really felt inspired when I came home. Yeah, and so then the last question is, were there other issues this week that you considered significant for your recovery? And yeah, I mean, I think a big one was, just like having some difficult conversations with my partner about our relationship, um, and where I fit into it, and what what it's gonna look like as we move forward. So that was definitely a difficulty, but I do feel like coming at them, coming out with this perspective that that change is inevitable, and that we can either grow together or grow apart. But we want to grow together. I think it's really, really beneficial. Um, yeah, and then of course the other thing is just I'm just worried about Donut, and um, I don't know if it was a significant issue, but definitely an instance of I felt that I could have handled something better was when I went to the vet, and there was a miscommunication between me and Oj, and I had thought that I was going to one vet, but it turned out to be a different vet, and so I had to take an Uber across town, and I was pretty frustrated with that, and you know, and what I noticed too is Oj took on that caretaker role immediately, being like, "Do you need the lift?" And I was like, "No, I'm gonna take care of it." But it was good to notice when they went into that role, um, because in order to protect myself and protect them from, um, yeah, I mean, developing in this sort of codependent way, it really is going to require me building my own independence and, feeding myself well, taking care of myself, um, being active in my own social life and you know, so yeah, I'd say overall it was a fairly solid week, fairly solid week with some room for growth and improvement. Um, but yeah, we talk about week 3 is about recovering a sense of power, and I just want to touch on that before the end here. And you know, I feel like I'm starting to feel that that sense of power is coming to me and coming back to me. Um, and yeah, that I am growing in my confidence of my abilities and my ability to provide for myself and my ability to do the work that's necessary to provide for myself. So yeah, that's week 3.